Let's go. Let me give you a quick recap on the first question before we get into the second question. So the first question was about subject verb agreement. We identified it's a neither nor type question. And so the subject that comes closer to the verb is considered to be the main subject. And thereby, the singular subject is identified. And then we also identified the tense. Since the clue is earlier, which is something that happened in the past, the tense is also past. And with the singular subject in past tense, we have come to the conclusion that was the right answer. And yes, it is. And we also got some idea on how to eliminate the other options. Now let's get into the second question. Now this question again is based on subject verb agreement only. Now let's take a look into the question and understand the question. Construction of the new classrooms. Blank. Soon and is scheduled to end in March next year. So here we can see the tense is scheduled, which means it is in present tense. And the subject is construction of the new classrooms. Now, again, it is tricky. If we take construction, then it is singular. But if we take classrooms, it is plural. Now, which one should I take? Should I take classrooms or should I take construction? Only if I know if it is singular or plural, the subject, if it is singular or plural, I will be able to give the right answer for this question. Now let's identify this. Now this is one of the rules in subject verb agreement where of the new classrooms, which is basically a prepositional phrase. So if you have the subject added to a prepositional phrase, then you cannot consider the prepositional phrase as part of your subject, which means you will take construction as the subject and not the classrooms as your subject, because classrooms is a part of your prepositional phrase. Let me put it here clearly for you. Of the new classroom. If you look into this phrase, it is a prepositional phrase. Why do I call it a prepositional phrase? Because it begins with a preposition. Whenever there is a prepositional phrase followed by the main subject, do not get confused. Prepositional phrase cannot be your subject. So, said that, now that we clearly know what the subject is, and we also know what the tense of the sentence is, which is present tense, it is easy for us to eliminate began, which is a past tense, has begun, which is also a past perfect tense. Now, the options that are left is begin and begins. Always remember this rule. For any singular subject, the verb should be added with S. For any plural subject, the verb should not be added with S. If you remember this simple formula, you will be able to crack these kind of questions. Now, here the subject is singular, that is construction, and thereby singular subject verb will be added with a S. So this begin is getting eliminated and begins is getting clicked. So let's start the right answer. That's how you will also identify the right answer for subject verb agreement based questions. A quick recap. First of all, we have to identify the subject, and we need to understand that prepositional phrase cannot be a part of a subject. And so construction, which is a singular subject, is the main subject. And then we also identify the tense of this sentence, which is based on this helping verb is. So now based on this, we already know that it's a present singular sentence. With this clue, we identify that the answer is begins. And the answer is not begin, began, has begun. Why it is not began? Because Began is V2 form of the verb, which is basically past. Begun is V3 form of the verb, which again is past perfect. So, if you want to know more about verb forms and tenses, take up the course that I'm providing. So, if you want to know more about the tenses that I'm teaching here, if you want to get a lot of worksheets on verb 1, verb 2, verb 3 forms and how to use them or where to use them, please take up the course. I will be more than happy to help you out to get a great ALs in your PSLE. All the very best. Keep preparing for PSLE, and we will soon be meeting in the next session with the next question here.